Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flawless, a music podcast. My name is Grant, and I'm joined here with my two co-hosts, Liam.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Flawless.
And George.
Hello, Team Music. I'm bringing it back.
Yes.
Holding on to dear life.
Desperately with nails and tenterhooks.
Yeah.
Each episode of Flawless, a host or a guest nominates an album that they think is flawless, and we discuss how they discovered it, what they love about it, and what makes it flawless for them. We've got a Facebook group. It's called Flawless Family and Friends. Friends and Family. And it's where we discuss all things.
You say that the wrong way every single time.
Well, it's because everyone's my family.
I gave you a written note.
Yeah, I'm trying to read this and ad lib, and it's not easy, okay? Flawless Friends and Family. F cubed.
Yeah.
It's where we discuss all things music that we love and that you love. And we post in there about upcoming episodes and albums that are nominated. You can find that in the link in the show notes below the end of the series, whatever.
Well, the URL is ridiculous, so
sure.
Just click on the link. Yeah.
And of course, we've got a Patreon, and it's where you can back us from as little as $1 a month, and you get that early access to our episodes, access to our bonus episodes, and that warm, fuzzy feeling inside that you're helping us spread the flawless love. It's capped.
It's capped at 1 million people.
Only 1 million people can join. Okay, and then that's
it.
it.
A handful of stragglers left. So
yes,
get in there
not much left. Not much space left. You can find that at patreon.com/flawlessamp. Now, although I'm speaking today, wherever you're listening, whatever time, it's not my album. We've got a guest.
Yay.
Woo-hoo.
Which you'll know from clicking on the episode.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's written in the title.
Damn it. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me on. My name is Josie. By day, I'm a victimologist, researching very depressing things.
Mm-hmm.
And by night, I'm a podcaster, shamefully. I have two because I can't shut the fuck up.
One's not enough.
One's not enough.
Sure.
I've got A Hill to Die On, where me and a friend ask a question, give an uneducated hot take on it, go away, actually read up on it, and reconvene to decide whether our hot take hill was worth dying on.
Nice.
And my other podcast is called Australian Gothic, where we explore different parts of Australian culture and talk about the looming spectre of colonialism and violence behind it. But today I'm talking about the album Julia with Blue Jeans On by Moonface.
For sure, and your hair was only adding to the flood. Just out of the shower, you looked like a red bird.
Nice.
Wow.
Straight into it.
There we go.
Just throwing it out there.
Whew. No introduction required.
Yeah.
So,
Before we get to it, where can people find out about your podcast? Where can they-
All right, yeah. So if you just search A Hill to Die On and Australian Gothic wherever you find your podcasts, or you can follow me on Twitter at JSSPCR1.
Sweet.
thank you and welcome.
So,
Thank you for sharing the album.
Moonface. How did you find out about Moonface?
Oh well, yes. So ready to launch into
Let's
it.
go.
So Moonface is sort of the, I guess, alias moniker of Spencer Krug, who is also in the band Sunset Rubdown and Wolf Parade. And my husband introduced me to Sunset Rubdown on a drive up the Sunshine Coast on Christmas Day. And it's one of my happiest memories. And then I Spotify radio.
Yeah.
Hey, there's another plug.
for Sunset Rubdown, introduced me to Moonface, and I was like, wow, this sounds familiar. Same dude. And yeah, so that sort of chugging along for a while, and then this particular album, Julia with Blue Jeans On, I was heavily pregnant and had perinatal depression and was living with my now husband in an apartment, and then this beautifully depressing song was released. Everyone is Noah, Everyone is the Ark. Was released, I believe.
That's a good description.
Yeah. And I think he maybe released that before the rest of the album. I can't recall. It was at least the first one I heard. And it was, I'm very much someone, when they're depressed, I like to ham it up and wallow in self-pity. And but then
I'm with you
wallower.
there. I'm with you.
Wallow.
yeah, I just want to feel
Let's
it all.
perpetuate this.
Yeah.
Let's drag it out.
But then a few years later, I was in a bit of a better place, and I listened to the album from start to finish, and it's actually just a really beautiful album on its own. So that's why I've nominated it.
Nice.
So did you hear it when it came out? Was 2013? Was that when you were listening to it?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
And then, I've listened to it in full many times, but it's definitely one that I can maybe slam it out a few times in a few days. I'll just like listen to it on repeat, and then I'll put it down for like maybe a year and just let it rest, because it's very emotionally draining for me.
Right.
Fair.
So, Moonface has released 7 albums in an 8-year period from 2010 to 2018.
Some may say prolific.
Some might say prolific. We'll come back to the prolificness because it's more than that even. How does this album, have you listened to the other ones? How does it rate to the other album that he's put out just under the Moonface moniker?
So I had listened to this one, I'm very bad with names, there's a song called Fast Peter. I think it might have been on the one prior to this. I haven't listened to anything since.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not tempted, it's like a flawless album for you, but not tempted to go back and listen to some of the other stuff as well?
So this is something that I think contributes to why I think this is a flawless album, but I have like a lot of trouble, like auditory processing stuff is really tricky for me. And so if I find something that's like simple and easy for me to listen to for my brain, I kind of just cling to that, and it takes a lot out of me to listen to new albums and take them on.
Okay, that's cool, because George nominated Muse's first album, and they put out 7 albums since then, and George hasn't heard one of them. Just like, nope.
No.
I've
Happy with what you've got.
I've got my flawless album done.
Yeah, that's
I know,
fair.
and it really upset Liam because
really-
Muse is one of his favourite
Oh.
bands.
But yeah, actually, I probably should listen to more of it, because it would make sense that if I like his other stuff, then, should keep going with it. But
There you go.
Cool.
Ask the question. Come on.
I thought you were going to ask the question. You're hosting.
Okay. All right. I'll ask the question. That's right. It's a good point. George,
Had I heard?
had you heard?
I'd not heard Moonface. I had heard Wolf Parade.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard Wolf Parade, and this album was released on Paperbag Records, which has a bunch of bands that I love, like Broken Social Scene, Tokyo Police Club, The Lures, Tim Hecker, Born Ruffians. So in my wheelhouse. But I'd not heard Moonface.
So it's distributed by Paperback in Canada, and then Jaguar in the US.
Yes, and
Full name is
Jaguar
I was
did
like, yeah,
Lady
that's
Hawk,
cool.
Dinosaur Jr. and Bon Iver.
Ah, okay.
Same boat as George. I hadn't heard of Moonface, and then I looked up the Wikipedia, and it was like Spencer Krug, and I was like, oh, that name's kind of familiar, and clicked it, and I was like, yeah, I know Wolf Parade, know them quite well, got a couple of albums of theirs really good.
Okay.
But yeah, and then so he's the keys player and vocalist in Wolf Parade, so it makes perfect sense for him to do like a solo this kind of solo project for him. So yeah, but Grant,
Yes, Lee.
had you heard of Moonface before it was dropped in the chat?
Oh, I had heard of none of any of those. And I haven't researched that far back to know what you guys are talking about. So no, absolutely blind coming into this one.
Right.
Mm.
So we talked about him. We're saying he was prolific as Moonface.
Yeah.
In the period from 2003 to 2014, Krug released 22 studio albums
far out, man.
across 6 different bands.
Has
So-
he thought about going on
22.
holiday?
Yeah, maybe he's a break. Maybe
Well-
is it depressing as well? Like when we said, not because he's working too hard.
No. Yeah, I hope not.
Like,
but
geez,
he's
like
obviously got a lot of
strange,
stuff to
right?
say. So
Got
he's
a lot of
obviously he's in.
feelings.
Yeah, so he is Moonface. He's in Wolf Parade. He's in the other band that you mentioned,
Sunset Rubdown.
Sunset Rubdown.
Very
Yeah.
good.
He's got another band. So this album, this is actually different to some of his other Moonface albums,
Mm-hmm.
and this is an interesting one because this is an album with only one instrument,
Yeah.
which we don't cover very often. It's pretty rare for us to have just got one person, one instrument.
instruments.
Is there?
The voice is the
Okay.
instrument.
If you include the voice as an instrument, yes,
Touche.
2 instruments. But in terms of
John
non-voice
Farnham.
physical instruments, it's just one man and one instrument, which
A man
is
and piano.
it's pretty rare for us to cover.
Yeah.
Even when albums, because it's
That
like,
is true, huh?
and even when you think about like often band members will do solo albums, they won't be solo as in one instrument.
No.
I've got other songwriting ideas. I go and
Correct.
work with some other people, or
Yeah.
I do everything in the studio myself, and then I get a touring band and do whatever. But this is a solo album in the purest sense of the
Yes.
word. It is literally just one guy and just his piano, which is really cool.
Which makes touring really easy and cheap.
You'd think so, but the piano sound on this, and I'm no expert in any of this stuff, this doesn't sound like he's playing this on a
Ordinary piano.
keyboard.
No,
He is playing this on like a
grand.
full-on grand
Yeah.
piano.
100%.
So yeah, I think if he toured Moonface, he'd have to find venues that had proper pianos, because I don't think he could walk up to a band, like a small
Ordinary
venue with a
little
keyboard.
man.
And
But
go,
he
no.
should come over here and play Princess Theatre.
do they have a grand piano?
Yeah.
I was there the other night.
Well,
That's not
You didn't
relevant.
play
Yeah, I didn't see it, but that's not really relevant to the band I was seeing, so it doesn't really count.
I've seen some videos and a few of him playing in quite a small church, which I imagine would have great acoustics as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
So yeah, and yeah, just one guy and his piano. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
You just have to get along with yourself well if you're going on tour, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you again.
So he also said in an interview that this, and a few people mentioned that this album, Moonface in general, is a bit more direct lyrics than some of his other stuff. So I guess in Wolf Parade's a bit more different. Whereas this, he said, he was asked about it. He said, yeah, I think so. I'm trying to embrace it. It's actually more challenging to write that way and still have it impact emotionally and not just be boring. Do you know what I mean? It's a little more vulnerable and honest. It puts yourself out there in a more honest way, which is what artists should be doing anyway.
yeah.
So definitely this album is definitely him putting himself out there and all his different thoughts and emotions and stuff. It's a big deal.
And I think I read, I can't remember if it was his own words or just someone else's sort of take on it, but sort of they suggested that in his, like the album before, the Moonface album before Julia with Blue Jeans On was definitely like a breakup album. There was a lot of like blame placed on the other party or other people. And this person, I do believe it was a journalist, was like reflecting that this was sort of taking accountability of maybe his part to play in the downfall of different relationships and stuff like that. And yeah, I could kind of see that, and like just the different sound that this album has, you know, very, very vulnerable and raw and just himself. And yeah, seems very contemplative in my opinion.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Moonface album before this one, he's actually recorded with another band called Sinai.
Okay, yeah.
With Sinai, Heartbreaking.
With Sinai, yeah.
Bravery, yeah.
Heartbreaking Bravery. And then the one after, so there was a City Wrecker EP, and then My Best Human Face was with Sinai as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, he talked about, because he was in Canada, he had his band Wolf Parade, and I think things were actually going badly with them at this stage, and they kind of decided not to do stuff anymore. And so he said he had to get out of Canada. So the things he wanted to get out of was, well, namely Sunset Rubdown, Wolf Parade, and then the relationship I was in that order. Oof. And then I wanted to start working with this band called Sinai. They were friends because they had a different band that came on tour with Wolf Parade, and we all got along, and they're good musicians. I asked them if they wanted to do a record, and they said yes. And so I went there and recorded it. And then after a while, it seemed like maybe I should just move there. Plus, there was a girl there. So you throw all that stuff together, and it was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just move to Helsinki.
Of course.
So I think the interview I read
you
was
should
when
do.
he was in Helsinki at the time. So he lived in, I think, Vancouver for like his whole life. And then he was just like, I'm surrounded by people who know me, and I want to get away, and bands that I'm not, enjoying being part of. And so he just pissed off to Helsinki to live for a little while.
That's such a white boy thing.
It is, isn't it?
I could have gone to India. Why you say that? Jobs and all the rest of those other guys go to India.
Not musicians.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't know any other guys, any bands that would go to Helsinki. What? Really?
Spencer Krug follows me on Twitter, so I really hope he
Oh,
doesn't listen
nice.
to me trashing him. Yeah.
That's all right.
Nice work, Spencer. We tag him in the post,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
he'll see it one way or
Oh,
another.
well, you buggered now.
Talking
Yeah.
about your white boy shit.
So it's released on 29th of
It is,
October
though.
2013.
Yeah.
I'm just honest.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So he's got, let's make him feel better. He's got beautiful vocals throughout this whole album.
Yes.
Incredible.
Like, just so, like, open and forthright. But then this bombast that, like, it takes a real, like, expert to be able to find that line of between bombast, like, normally if you're big and powerful like that, then it doesn't feel like you're connected to it intimately. But
Yeah.
he's got that line of, like, you're still connected to everything he says, but then it's this huge, big, powerful, booming vocals. And like I said, it's got to be an absolute grand piano. Like, you cannot get, this is not a guy walking around on a keyboard or anything.
No
like
way.
that. It's just,
Little guitar.
and you can see him banging away on the piano at certain times. And
Yes.
yeah, you can get that imagery straight away.
Yeah.
So because I've never heard Moonface, and because Josie and I are in some similar circles,
Similar circles.
Yeah.
didn't you mention it was some of it was like the feministy type
Yeah.
circles?
Yes.
So I was expecting to like hear La Tigra, or I was expecting to hear Sleater-Kinney or something like that when you nominated it an album, and then I put this on like with my big girl pants on, ready for some feminist punk rock, and then I just went piano. I was like, what's she done? When like suddenly there was this beautiful piano playing, and I was like, what on earth? Like,
Yeah.
you completely curveballed me. Like, yeah, it was like a genuine surprise, because I was like, thinking I've seen some stompy girl music.
I can do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I just...
But you like a piano?
no, I fucking love piano.
Yeah.
I was like, but the first thing I wrote was
She was
piano!
surprised.
Exclamation mark.
You're surprised.
I was very surprised.
Taken aback even.
I was happily surprised, but like I was genuinely like thinking. I just wrote piano! Exclamation mark. And wasn't expecting it, and then I did a little heart in my notes. So
That's nice.
there you go. So thanks for shocking me, but
In a good way.
Yeah.
in a lovely
good
way.
Yeah. Sorry that there's no feminist rage that you could.
No, it's fine. Like no, it's the opposite.
Sorry, there was no feminist rage. That could be the title of the subtitle of the podcast.
Sorry, there's no feminist.
Sorry, no feminist rage in this
No
one.
feminist rage in this
Yeah.
one, but
But George is not disappointed. So.
but not disappointed. Love pianos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive piano fan.
And from my understanding, he has been classically trained since a child.
There's a vibe of that, definitely,
He
yeah.
started when he was
Sure,
12.
man.
Yeah.
Like, when he gets on it, like,
Yeah, he
Since
was
he was 12.
12. Yeah, he picked up the piano and the guitar, and they were his instruments.
Right. Sweet. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Is he back in Canada now?
I don't know where he lives now. This was just an interview at the
He
time.
follows you?
At the time of the...
yeah, he
Where-
can follow me from anywhere. Little haunting?
But it doesn't say on his handle where he is at the moment.
Oh, I have
Did
no
you
clue.
see?
Yeah.
No.
Fair enough.
That's
So
all
yeah,
right.
speaking of the album opening with that piano, so Barbarian, it's got that frisky little melody at the start, and you wait for a second, and then he starts playing obviously with his other hand down on the bass range, but that's like the haunting melody playing down there, and then the little frisky one over the top.
And
It's so cool. Everyone will have heard that at the start when I dropped it in. It's just so great.
and the vocal line comes in, and there's a single note piano matching the vocal.
Yes.
So, like, he sings la, he plays la.
On one hand,
On one hand.
but not on the
But
he'll be
he's
playing another
still-
tempo thing on the other hand.
Yeah, so he's still playing on the other hand. So, so it's just. But there's one thing I have to say. He says "you're a babe," sings "you're a babe," a couple of times in it. "You're a babe," but the first time he does it, he says it in such a way that it reminded me of Labyrinth with the "you remind me of the babe," and it was just, it made me giggle because and so I've had to write "you're a babe," but if you listen to it, the first time he says it, honestly, the way he drops down is just so Bowie.
Nice.
It was awesome.
So I had to write down this so I wouldn't be able to explain it properly. So he's playing one melody on the high end and singing to that melody and playing another melody on his low hand, and they're on a different tempo. So he sings to the tempo of his high hand because he's playing it at the same time. And then when his vocal stops, the tempo of the top line slides back into the tempo of the bottom line.
Yeah.
Like just without, like not like jarringly, like it's just like, no, he just stops and then suddenly both hands are playing at the same tempo again.
And then and the vocals drop and he goes into a piano solo for like 2 minutes.
Which is anytime his vocals drop in this album, it becomes a piano solo.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between playing chords and going twiddly twiddly twiddle. So he does twiddly twiddles.
Like there's that jarring. It could be jarring with the two tempos coming back together, but he's just this master piano player, and it just slides together so well.
Absolutely. But in Everyone Is Noah, Everyone Is the Art, it starts with stabby piano chords. Stabby. Like,
very stabby.
They are then drop out the piano for some of the vocals before doing like this power lift, and the vocals go all higher pitched and there's a crescendo of wailing. But then for the last 30 seconds it's jazzy.
Yes. So the last bit of the song is like jabbing at it and bellowing, I don't know if I can call this home. And it's like this lift and it's like really, really intense, and it's like I'm almost getting tears, and then it stops and it's like, there's a little piano jazzy flourish at the end.
Jazzy flourish.
I don't know, it's like his little, in my mind there's like skeletons with top hats and canes just doing a little thing across the stage just to finish it off.
Yeah, it was a nice little outro.
So he sings in that one.
And everyone is Noah, and everyone is the ark. Everyone has to gather souls around them to feel useful and loving and loved.
Feeling called out there. I can only value myself based on the people around me. It's
just stunning lyrics all the way through. Josie, what are some of your favorite songs from the album?
So it's really hard. I have so many.
Yeah.
But I think the title song, Julia with Blue Jeans On, is my favorite song. That is one of the few songs that are in my rotation, my daily rotation. So just some of the lyrics that I really like, and again, feeling called out. And he says,
I can't say why, but I have a way of bleeding dry anything you call a rose.
have the ability to suck the joy out of anything, which people know me.
Yeah.
And I mean this even in a nice way. I'm someone who just, again, like I have a podcast called Australian Gothic, which is about making people feel bad about anything they love. But I do just like that lyric.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got that starts with ominous, beautiful piano. Like it's got that kind of like haunting kind of sound to it.
Yeah.
But then it moves into stabbing chords and these left like runs over the keys. So there's like the stab, 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 and then there's the like running over it. And there's a real sweetness when he starts singing Julia.
Oh yeah.
And then goes into power vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like he can drop between soft and tower like quite easily in a song.
Oh yeah.
It's super good range.
So that one's got a really cool lyric that I won't drop in, but I'd say the only name worth singing, it's not God, it's you.
I know.
That grab, like, sometimes I have to look up lyrics because I can't understand what someone's saying, but I can hear that and just go, no, that's like, it's not like a, people say like, oh, God's the only, God, worship God. Mm-hmm. That's the name we all praise. And it's like, no, God's got nothing on you, Julia.
Yeah. And this is my other note. I'm just like, my note about this song is like, Julia with blue jeans on, ever seen an ass so fine? You write a whole album about it. And like, I've heard different stories. So like some of, I guess like here's like another nice memory I have with this album is like
please.
So it had started off while I was pregnant and, you know, being like angsty and stuff. But actually, like a few weeks ago, I had the joy of going to Ellie Beach on holiday with my brother and sister-in-law, who are also, I would say, our close friends, and they also really love Moonface and Spencer Krug. And we were listening to this album and just singing, and our son was in the back playing Mario Kart. And I don't know, it was just like, even though there was this song, this album that like had previously been like me in my really like my darkest place, here I was with like people I love the most and just singing it. And it was, especially Julia with blue jeans on, we were all just singing and happy. And
Nice.
yeah, there's the space
that's
for that
really
too
great.
in the album.
Yeah.
And I bring that up because we were speculating on who Julia is, and I don't know if he has actually like revealed it properly. I heard two different stories. So someone said that he said that Julia is just a really nice name to sing, and it fits well into songs. Like you can sing it in a bunch of sort of different ways.
Especially if you've got blue jeans, so Julia, like
yeah.
it's the same vocal pattern.
Exactly.
Or inverted vocal pattern.
And then there was another thing where they thought, or they recalled him saying that he just has like, Julia is like mostly a stand-in for like a love interest, but like there is this image of like this woman just wearing blue jeans and just being like, it's a striking image.
Yeah,
So
nice.
I don't know what is true in either of those. I could believe both. Neither might be true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Doesn't
something I
mind.
think of.
There you go.
Yeah. It's that one almost reminded me a bit of Tori Amos too, so it's got a big crescendo to finish. And then he's singing da 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 to the he's singing a melody just like da 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 da, but not either of the melodies that his hands are playing. So his hands are playing two melodies and he's singing. So normally when you don't put words on something and you're just singing along, it's you sing along to the instrument because like you're trying to fill a gap where like you feel like there should be a vocal. Whereas this is just like he's playing two melodies and his brain's just going, I'm just going to go da 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 in the way which like doesn't match either of the melodies there.
George.
Black is back in style.
Hey, what a track, man.
But, so lyrically, we gave the cities to the women. We thought it was the least that we could do.
Whew, all right, you won me over. Or yeah, all right, there you go.
Yeah, so powerful vocals and piano. This runs up the piano to the end, and it gets more powerful all the way to the end. It's only 3 minutes long, but it gets really powerful all the way to the end. So so that
That one stood out for me too.
Nice.
Loved that one.
yeah.
Cool. Great one. Yeah. Cool.
I also loved the house you're in.
Oh yes.
So cool. So this is beautiful. Once again, beautiful, expensive piano work, up and down, real fast, slow, that sort of thing. But the line and just, oh my god.
I regretfully withdraw my offer to try to improve myself. I sincerely believe the results would be a disaster.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That is
Like,
real.
like, no.
I need that tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the tattoo line.
That's the tattoo line,
It's
is it?
like
Tattoo line.
Homer
Just like-
Simpson, like, well, excuse me for having massive flaws that I won't work on, or something like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
But that is something that I
read
do
that one too.
love about this album is like there is this incredible piano, like technically really good music, but then just the lyrics can just like, I don't know, I'm covering my face in shame right now because I'm feeling overwhelmed by how seen I feel. But yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, so we have sometimes where it's mostly me where I'll like pick one lyric out of the album and go, that's the lyric I'd get tattooed on myself.
Oh, yeah.
But George is all in on this one.
There you go.
I'll get that one. I'll have it.
It's-
Do you remember when people used to get them wrapped around the top of their arm?
Oh, yes.
Like,
No.
Oh,
How do you-
that was a thing.
What do you mean?
Where you have a whole sentence like round your arm like that.
Okay, I don't remember those. But
Oh,
all right.
like remember Bob
I was going to
Wire?
say Bob Wire from
Yeah,
Madison.
yeah.
I know the Bob Wire
Barbed wire
one.
one I
Sure.
can see. I just don't think I'd ever seen words wrapped around it. But
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I could have those lyrics like excuse me, if I even try and attempt to work on myself,
Yeah.
it's going
But
to
it's-
be worse for everyone.
Yeah.
Because love the house you're in feels like it should be, you know, just love who you are. It's a self-love sort of thing. You know, don't push yourself to be trying to do something you're not. You know, you've got to accept who you are.
Yes.
But then the way he tones that line is just like, no, now I like that's a terrible thing to say. It's like I regretfully withdraw. Like I was going to try and prove myself for you.
Nope.
Not going to happen. So suddenly it feels like, no, you shouldn't do that. That's a terrible thing to say and do.
Just incentivize yourself. What?
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
But at least he's honest.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna quit before I fail.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And November 2011,
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
as
what I
well.
was gonna.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that was optimistic. That actually.
Reckon? I
I
thought
didn't-
I thought it was a breakup song.
No, the piano.
Oh yes.
The piano's optimistic in that one, but no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like talking about being with him is like leading a lamb to slaughter.
Yeah.
And he repeats the lyrics.
Because baby, we both know we are both crazy. Baby, we both know we are both crazy.
And he does that twice over. And he then repeats it later in the song. But there's a big lift and I'm going to say an operatic outro.
Yeah.
Operatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just like that's the thing he's singing again. Is like he's so capable of doing all these different styles with just a single instrument, which is really cool.
Dreamy Summer, over 8 minutes. But hell of a long piano solo.
Yeah.
And worth it.
So it's got dueling parts that time. Like the piano parts feel like they're actually like at each other
Yeah.
a bit more, and then in that solo, like just hypnotic and really beautiful and melancholic.
Where he's doing really low runs with his left hand and then high duos with his right hand before the vocals come in. And before going into an epic piano solo for like 3 minutes.
And he says,
Dreamy summer, got nowhere to be. There's no reason I should feel like dying, but you're the reason I'm here and alive either way.
so it's kind of the closest thing he's got to a love song, but also that's a lot to put on somebody.
That is a lot.
It's like, which I feel like he knows. I feel like it doesn't feel like he's happy to be in that position, but it's sort of, it's a lot. Grant, any double tick songs from your
We've
end?
spoken Black and
Black is
Black
Back in
is Back
Style.
in Style.
Yeah.
Certainly was my double tick, and I like the bookend of Barbarian 1 and 2 split by
Yeah, it's a really great
Yes.
intro, those top
It's
three. Yeah.
Very good.
And, so yes,
It's like the lyrics, I never told you. I think he's just like something he like kind of, whoever this person is ex, I imagine, was like, you asked the town I was born and I never told you.
yeah.
And then, it comes back
In the third,
song and he whispers it and it's really kind of menacing, and, but not in a, I don't know how to.
Because it's about where she wants to be buried.
Yes.
And he says to her, like, where do you want to be buried? And she said, well, where is the town you were born? And you're like, well,
that raises the
awkward.
flag for him. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
no.
I don't know. In Barbarian 2, it sounds like he's sort of muttering the "I never told you" to himself. Like, I don't know.
You
To
never
me, it sounds
knew
a
I
little.
never told you. Oh,
Yeah, and he's just like sort of like fuck.
But it's
like
really
it's heavy. Yeah.
He's really hammering on the keys in Barbarian 2. And then, like, hammering for, like, the first minute. And then it goes into a real soft reprieve. Like, for the last minute 20. Like, a really soft outro. So, and on that one, the vocals start before the piano. So he comes in.
I hadn't noticed that, but yeah.
Yeah, he comes in. It's just a moment, but he comes in singing. And then the piano starts behind him.
I don't think I've noticed that. Now I have to go
Nice.
and listen to
Yeah.
this album again.
You're
go.
going
That's
to
a real
listen to it
shame.
again anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was.
There you go. Any more from yourself, George?
Oh, I don't know. I think we've covered quite
First
a lot.
violin.
First violin.
I like first violin.
Sounded like a concerto at the beginning.
So he sings in that one.
Breathe on my skin. Be my first violin. I am blind and I am helpless. What else is there to say?
So just this, just throwing himself out there, completely exposed to himself. It's really cool.
He plays really deep chords that with really high trills over the top. And so that was like a nice contrast. And then the outro is really twinkly. That's the best word I could come up with is twinkling. Yeah. Like, well, they say tinkling the ivories, don't they? So he was twinkling them.
Yes, as opposed to jabbing at them, which he also does a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But
gonna
so your Chariot Awaits we've not covered.
There's the beautiful piano work in the bridge there. Just like once again, just up and down, real fast, real quick, nice haunting melody.
Yeah, really good running. I got here the lyrics. We got way too close, way too quickly to hopelessness, to which we are both hopelessly addicted. So I was like, all right.
It's got some unhealthy relationship patterns by the sounds of it.
Absolutely. But then the piano sounds like a carousel, which is really nice.
I was going to ask Josie, we normally ask me, forgot, have you ever seen Spencer play live?
No.
I assume Moonface probably hasn't toured in Australia, but I'm sure he would have toured in one of his other 8 bands.
Yeah, no, I've never seen him or any of the bands he's in, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
We're much warmer than Helsinki. If he
Yeah.
found Helsinki too cold,
Well,
then
there
he
you go.
should come here.
Sure.
Tour here.
He's from Canada, dude.
Yes.
That's proper Four Seasons.
Helsinki would be colder. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
A little bit colder, depending on where he was in Canada, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Pretty high up in North America. Anything you want to add there?
No, I think we've done
We
them all
go-
now.
have.
It's only 10 tracks. Well, I say only. It's still like the 47 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there's a few of those longer ones in there that he goes off on his tangents with the piano, doing lots of really cool things and long solos and stuff. But I'm good.
Let's go. Josie, ready? Final pitch from yourself. Moonface, Julia with blue jeans, flawless.
Yeah, so in my humble opinion, Julia with Blue Jeans on by Moonface is a flawless album for the fact that it is, just technically really brilliant. And Spencer Krug's voice, I mean, no matter what music act he's in, I'm probably going to like it. Just his voice is very powerful, but then I don't know, he sounds like a little heartbroken white boy, but I love that. That's my vibe. Sometimes you just got to listen to a little.
There's a lot of them out there.
There's a lot of them out there, but
And they
he's
make
very
music.
good.
And a lot of them do much worse than this. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Correct.
least-
That's probably better said. Jeez. A lot
Yeah.
worse than this.
But yeah, I find albums really, like, I don't often listen to albums from start to finish, but I really felt like this album really flowed nicely. Again, I think that at least give the first 3 tracks a go, and you'll probably be like, okay, I got to listen to the rest now. Especially Everyone Is Noah, Everyone Is the Ark. It's just like, okay, what's this guy got in him? Like, this is wild shit you're putting out here. But yeah, I just think it's a really good album for actually like whatever headspace you're in. I think you can move about your day and it just be a really nice album, and that's why it's flawless to me.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
All right. Shall we go ladies first, George?
Okay.
Let's hear it. Flawless is a thumbs up
So,
or not?
as I said, piano, hot. That was exciting. Curveball. So I was really excited about listening to this album. Love piano. I love piano rock, and I love piano like Tori Amos. So I got really excited, and He is a very accomplished pianist, which I was very happy with, and I thoroughly enjoyed the piano on all of these songs. The way he mixes it up between tempos and the way he mixes it up between like range on the piano and doing running trills and then like doing the stabbing like sound and like, so you can tell that it's modern piano. It's not classical piano.
Yes.
You can tell that it's like a modern musician and it's like not 70s rock piano. So I had one problem with this album, and before you all throw things at me,
Jeez.
which you are going to
gonna
throw
do
things
that,
at
are we?
me,
Wait.
this album would be absolutely flawless if it had absolutely no vocals.
Okay.
I can respect it.
I really did not enjoy his voice.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't think. I mean, I'm not going to throw anything at you. Or
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I'm thinking. Okay, so if it was just the piano. Okay.
So really didn't enjoy his voice.
Lyrics though.
I didn't enjoy his lyrics either. Some of it I found quite basic, and so I didn't enjoy that. Like just the whiny white boy thing, I guess, like that's been done. So I didn't engage with the lyrics very much, and I just kept waiting for the vocals to finish so I could listen to that gorgeous piano. So if I could have a version of this,
Instrumental.
just an instrumental of it, somebody could cut an instrumental of this, that would be amazing. And it's not to say that he's a bad vocalist, I just don't think it fits with the music. I really didn't feel like his vocals, like he's a great singer, but I didn't think his singing matched the piano, and so it was like a juxtaposition for me that didn't work.
Fair enough.
So it's not flawless for me, but I am really glad that I listened to it, and that piano is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm richer for that.
Oh, good. I'm
You
glad
had
you
two
enjoyed
instruments, and you're saying that's one too many.
Yeah, it was one
People,
too
please
much.
stop with these two
Cut
instruments.
50%.
Yeah, 50% of the
Just-
instruments
Yeah,
off. Gone.
50% dog shit.
I didn't go that far.
Well, just about Liam.
Hello.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Moonface.
Yeah, so
Thumbs up.
I like I said, I must have put on the album first before I looked up anything about it and listened to his vocal. I'm like, I know this voice.
Yeah.
And then I went and looked up. I was like, I know who this guy is. I've talked about all the different parts that I really liked. The variety of the sounds and the styles, even with just that single instrument, is really good. Expert piano work. I've got a friend who teaches piano and is like a real expert on piano, and I wish she'd been able to join us for this because I'm sure she could tell us all about. I hope it really is good piano work because it feels really good.
It does.
But I don't know anything about good piano work, so hopefully it just is.
Someone I know in Brisbane who teaches piano.
Yes.
This is like her favourite artist.
Awesome.
So,
Okay, so it must be good.
yeah,
Feels
it must
good.
be, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I will return my expert piano work then.
Yes.
He's the expert. It's just so raw and open and exposed songwriting. He's got that beautiful voice. Sorry, George, can't agree with you there. I love his voice with this. It feels like an epic, even at only 46 minutes. Like he goes through so much and so many different patterns of stuff. I desperately want to see him play live this album.
Yes.
I don't, or just a piano set of piano songs. It's like seeing Wolf Parade would be cool, but if he just came out with just him, I'm just going to play some piano songs. That'd be so awesome.
So good.
And for me, there wasn't anything that I'd take out or change. So I called it flawless.
Woohoo.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Grant,
Yes.
final thoughts and a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Yeah. So never heard Moonface. I think we've spoken a lot. I love the piano, and we're unanimous. I like the guy's voice as well. I thought that the lyrics were great. My challenge that I had is that some of the piano solos were too long for me.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And one more thing, I thought it would have been awesome to close. I like Your Chariot Awaits. I thought it would have been awesome to close though with Black is Back it was back in style.
Nice.
I really think that would have just summed it up, and we speak about the closing. But great album. Thanks very much for bringing it.
Yeah. Thanks,
And
Josie.
interesting takes on it all. So we are flawless, and thank you for listening, everyone. We've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we're Flawless AMP on all of those. So you can join the conversation, share or like our posts, or give us a rating. Every little bit helps us find more music lovers like you. As mentioned, we also have that Patreon, which is fast filling up. It's at patreon.com/flawlessamp. If you'd like to back us, please check that out and sign up. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
You're all I care about, babe. Your hand